Hello, everyone. Oh, here. Hello, everyone. Thanks for joining us tonight. This is Readings for Readers. You get to watch. We know you like to watch. Go ahead.
This is the Xanax edition.
Well, but seriously, thank you for joining us. This is, as I was saying, Readers for Readers. And I am joined by Tom, Early Ritual. Hello, Tom.
Hello.
Thank you very much for being here.
Oh, thank you for asking.
Tom's link is in the description. So show your love for Tom and subscribe to his channel.
Please do.
We'll wait. Go ahead. Okay, you've done it. Also joined by Linda de Gonzalez, who is simulcasting this.
Oh,
And this is Wanda's Human, Linda de Gonzalez.
Mhm.
yes.
I'm trying to make that a thing. Wanda's Human.
Yeah. You may as well, because really that's, yeah.
That was
She
a thank you.
certainly agrees. Yeah.
And I'm Gerald Tarot Stash. I am glad you're here. As always, please do us the favor and like and subscribe. It's free. Share this. Watch the playback. Leave a comment. That would be lovely. So, poor Tom just got the deets on what's
The
going on. The deets. And so, Readings for Readers, what happens is you get to watch us. You get to observe us doing a reading for each other. And today, we're using the circle punched cards. The circle punched cards. And so it's nice to get a little bit of a slice of how we do things. Linda, you've done this with me twice. Do you have anything to add to that?
Well, we've never used the circle punch cards. I really like reading with you, like just reading with you like we did earlier today, like we always do. And getting a reading from you is a whole level different. I mean, any of you who are looking for a reading from Gerald, you got to do it, because he is really, really excellent. I found him really accurate. And I found him also really compassionate and kind. So the truths that he told me were done with a lot of kindness, and we didn't know each other at the time, like we weren't friends. And because now he would just blast me, right? But he was very kind and very gentle in his delivery of some truths, let's just call them. So
of course, I would blast you, but I would do it
with love,
whilst handing you a cup of your favorite beverage. So
yeah. Oh yeah, no. There's no problem. There's no problem at all. But yeah, very, very complete and well-rounded reading, honestly.
And these particular cards I created because I saw Kelly Bear doing something with a deck and creating some oracles, and I'm like going, ooh, but you know what you can do is you could actually circle punch them and then layer inside of it with another deck. Wonder what that would do. So that's what we're going to do tonight, and you get to watch that. So
yeah.
So thank you for that. We have here. Let me get rid of this so that we can.
Those cards, by the way, they they pack a punch. Sorry,
they do pack a punch, and they can be read on multiple levels, just like any deck. They can be read at multiple levels. So that's why I'm glad to have Linda and Tom with me. So I want to say hello to some of the best chatters. We have mods on Linda's channel. Please watch this one.
There aren't any mods. No,
I'm just yes. Okay. And Mama Sushi is here. Also watch this one. Jacob Bush is here. Hello, Jacob. Rossi has joined us. Jacqueline Anderson, who is, I believe, one of your members.
She is indeed. You can tell by the pretty flower next to her name.
Well, I can't tell because it doesn't show up in StreamYard, but in the
Oh,
chat
well.
it is. Lexi is here. I'm here to make things difficult for Tom. If
I expect nothing less.
If you think you can do more than what Linda and I can do, good luck.
Bring it on.
S. Steele says, hi, Linda, hugs from afar. Denise Fletcher Tarot has joined us. Hello. Madame Maru has joined us. Here's your mod, the Diane G, who is going to be on your channel on Thursday.
Yeah, on Thursday, Diane and I are doing another show together. It's pretty close to the last show we did. I think it was like 2 weeks ago or so, 2, maybe 3 weeks ago, but she is amazing. You guys got to watch.
Mm-hmm. And Maru has put Tom's channel in there. Thank you.
Thank you, Maru.
And Viviani is here. And Viviani
hi, Viviani.
Akashic Adventures that Linda does. Linda, Viviani, and Diana do every Tuesday at 5 p.m. Eastern.
Yeah.
So here you go. It's Wanda's World. We all just get to watch.
Pretty much.
Yep. So, all right. I'm going AFK, but we'll be listening in.
I don't know what that means.
Away from keyboard.
Oh, well, thanks, Tom.
Viviani.
Let's stay live. Oh, yeah, it's all good. Suzanne G is here. Earth is here. Thank you. Thank you. Diana. Oh my gosh, we've got lots of people. So this is great.
Rossi.
So yes.
Rossi's here. Hi, Rossi.
Yep. It's beautiful. Thank you. Okay, so we decided the reading that we're going to do, I have it. Here's the question that we're going to be answering. Where am I getting in my own way? Now, for those of you who are watching, does this sound like a good question for you? Is this something that you need to think about? Because I'm like going, well, yeah, where am I getting in my own way? I never get in my own way, but there's always a first time. I'm waiting for the lightning strike. So Denise Fletcher Tarot says yes. So now, Tom, good question for you. Do you ever get in your own way?
All the time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Literally all the time.
Yeah. I'm totally doing that. Linda, what about you?
Oh, daily.
I got in my own way as I was actually walking here. And so it was like, oh, geez.
I mean, I said yes to coming here, so.
Proof positive. There you have it.
And it didn't take a lot of, haranguing.
No,
so,
it didn't.
Okay, so here's an interesting thing is
That's true.
Lexi's coming for you.
That is true.
His book collection gets in his wallet's way. You're not going to get any judgment from me on that.
No, I've got nothing to say about it. My book collection is in my phone on Kindle, and so nobody knows that there's like 1,400 books in there.
We do now, and I am totally going to make that a short. It's going to get
my secret. You can't tell anybody.
Okay, we won't. So I actually have. So when you think about this question, and by the way, this is off the cuff. So I'd like to hear from my guests. When you're going to answer this question, how many cards would you initially put out?
You mean as an answer to a question, right?
Yes. Let's say you're doing a reading, and somebody wants to know, where am I getting in my own way?
I would do 3 first. I would start with 3 and then put down more if I needed them.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Hush.
I would say 2 or 3. It
Yeah.
depends, but probably 3 minimum. Yeah.
Okay. Denise said 5. Lexi said 3.
Yeah.
I would ultimately do 5 cards with the way I lay them out. Here's another question. Is this okay? What are your thoughts? Is this an appropriate question? Is this a strong question for a clear reading?
I think that the question has a lot of layers, and I think that getting like a clear and unequivocal reading might not be that easy. I think that getting in your own way. Well, what? You're not eating properly, and so you don't have the energy to do what you need to do.
Mhm.
Shush. You're eating just fine, and you're she is honestly. Uh, or like there's all kinds of layers in there that what are you doing?
He's
I'm
getting
like
pet.
twisting my head so I look like I'm Wanda.
Oh, you want me to pick your nose? Oh, poor baby. Okay. So no, it just that it has the potential to have a lot of layers and not be all that straightforward. So I mean, I'm okay if you want to change the question.
No,
Um,
I don't want to. I don't want to change the question. I'm allowing people to peek inside our thought processes.
oh yeah, okay.
So
Hey, but it's such a useful question to ask, though.
It
yes,
is.
Because it's like Hershey's blind spot readings, right?
Yep.
Mhm. Yes.
Yeah, I try to
It's
always put a blocker of some sort in to understand what is blocking part of the reading. So to me, this is kind of just getting to the meat of that.
Yeah. I
ooh,
what I would do for this. Oh, wait a minute. Diana Oil Painter
yeah,
said you could do 5 and read them as body,
Hmm.
mind, spirit, grounding, and clarity. Then use another deck for clarifiers.
yeah. Excellent, excellent, excellent suggestion.
Yep.
And more people have come in, so thank you, everyone. Part of what I would do with this, to be honest with you, is I would start just reading like 3 cards and see where they led me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I'd go, okay, here's this. Here's this. Let's look at that. That's one of the benefits of having this doesn't happen in a live readings on YouTube. They happen when you have a one-on-one reading with somebody.
Yeah.
So here you go. What a great question.
Yeah. That's another good one.
Yes, and also Rossi said, getting in your own way for what thing?
And that's part of the layers. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So everybody wants to. I'm assuming everybody would like to see this in action, and I'm looking forward to this. So does everybody have something to drink? Do you have a beverage? Okay. I have mine too. So here, everybody sip for a second. This section of the video is brought to you by the word vapid. Everyone say it with me. Vapid. Vapid. Lacking flavor, zest, interest, animation, or spirit. Flat. Dull. Don't be vapid. Just like, share, and subscribe to our channels. Vapid.
Well, there's none of that around here.
It was you all did some of you worry that I was going to play that one word that everybody hates? That's for
The one that
different.
I can't understand why people hate that one.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
So
No,
here you go. We've got vapid, VAPID. We've got tarot study is not for the vapid. No, I live with someone who is vapid or hot. And by the way, this is for entertainment purposes only. Do
Yeah,
not
we
make
don't.
decisions based upon what we say. Seek professional assistance.
Yeah, because we don't know anything.
No.
Well, we know lots of things, but none of them are useful.
Or professional.
Okay. So I'm going to flip my camera a little bit so that I'm trying to do this so that we can. Okay, so we're going to talk. I'm going to lean in, and I'm going to pull cards for me first.
Okay.
Okay. But here are the decks that we have available. We have the Druid Craft. We have the Light Seers. We have the Rider Tarot. And then we have the Deviant Moon. So I think, do you want to guess which deck I'm going to use?
I think you're going to use the Rider and the Deviant Moon.
That's where I was leaning.
I am going to use the Deviant Moon, and I want to use the Light Seers.
Okay.
So how's that? Crazy, crazy. And by the way, here are all the circles, the circle punches from all of these four decks. So
Oh.
I put them
I
in.
see what you're going to do with that. Whoa. Okay.
I'm going to start with the Deviant Moon. And so for those of you who've not seen this deck or the circle punch, what I've done is I have punched the deck here. So you can see that. And then what you have is you have that, and then the circle, the punch goes in there. And yeah, Lexi's like going, okay, now I get what circle punch means. Yes, good. And
literally what it means.
Yeah.
Circle punch. So one thing
I'm always intrigued by these because I've seen you read with these a number of times, and it's always quite surprising how interesting it can get. So I'm very curious to see how this goes tonight.
One thing that you will notice is this is not a deck to riffle shuffle.
Yeah.
Just saying. So you have to figure out how to shuffle. So I'm going to pull 3 cards how I normally go. I do this. I pull from the bottom one first, and then I pull from these other ones. So this is what I'm going to do. So what we have, and you may not be able to see it, I may have to turn my light up. We have the 10 of Pentacles, we have the King of Wands, and the 9 of Swords. And I was going, where the hell did I put my circle or my punches? Hang on. Let me see if I can get more light. See if this helps. That's a little bit better, isn't it? So I'm going to, so for the first one, I'm putting this in there. Oh, that's a Deviant Moon one. There's a Light Seers one for that. And then we have a Druid Craft. So where am I getting in my own way? First, we have this is the Page of Cups embedded in the 10 of Pentacles.
The Page of Cups?
Page of Cups.
Oh.
And then we have the High Priestess embedded in the King of Wands.
Oh.
And then we have the Magician embedded in the Nine of Swords.
Holy
So
shazbot. Okay.
make that a little clearer.
Well, I see you're overthinking right there.
What, right here? You think?
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, I don't, but I think, yeah. I don't know. What do you think, Tom?
Yeah, it's interesting. I'm intrigued by the first set of cards there.
Yeah, me
To
too.
me, without even, I was curious to see if we would be able to clearly see what cards. I'm not super familiar with either the Lightseers or even the Deviant Moon. Because one Patrick Valenza deck I don't like is the Deviant Moon. But I'm curious at the.
That
To
doesn't
me,
really
there's a shadow aspect that comes through on this because of the just the blatant visual.
Yeah.
Of this, which is interesting in conjunction with the idea of the Ten of Pentacles.
By the way, Lightfoot is correct. I stand corrected. This is the Nine of Wands. Thank you.
It's not the Nine of Swords?
No. Imagine, yeah,
No.
it's the Nine of Wands. Thank you, Lightfoot. You are correct.
Okay. Thanks, Lightfoot.
Tom, continue. You were doing some good stuff there.
I think I said everything that I was thinking. There's I just feel, I feel like there's like, and I think it's just kind of obvious, maybe it's maybe too obvious, but there's this feel of like this shadow self that's coming into play when it comes to financial security.
Okay.
Maybe it's all your decks that you purchase.
Well, I'm, I think, thinking about this and how I'm getting in my own way, I have the Ten of Pentacles, which is oftentimes for me, it's a card of ancestry and tradition.
Yeah.
Then I have the King of Wands, which is a card about mastering the energy and where the energy is going and how to direct it. And the kings tend to be, for me, really directive with it. Do this, do that.
Yeah.
But the Nine of Wands, the cards are calling me out. The Nine of Wands is the stick to it, because there's you're almost done with it. You're almost done with the project. Just finish it up. But now when we look at the inset cards, so we have this tradition with the Page of Cups. So, and visually, isn't this interesting? It looks like these two are whispering into the head of the page.
Yeah.
So part of where I'm maybe getting in my own way is I may be listening to the voices in my head that are not mine.
Yeah. I want to bring attention to the fact that it is the Page of Cups and that there is a moon there.
Oh, yes.
Oh, thank you. Yes.
True.
And I think the shadow part of that is important because it's under the moon, right? The emotions, the shadows, the sides that are hidden, what's hidden. Okay, you are going home. That's just it. Excuse me, I will be right back.
Aw, bye, Wanda.
Bye, Wanda. Does that make sense to what I'm saying, Tom?
I think so. I think it's important to not lose. I'm intrigued by the way that you're reading it, because to me, I like to read it as like the one picture, even with the inset.
Yes.
and you're reading them, you're kind of looking at them separately first, and then
Mhm.
looking at that other layer. But I'm kind of like I want to blend them together because I feel
Yeah.
Yeah.
like together they're quite interesting. But I do agree there's that foundational aspect of it that we should be taking into account. And I guess I did to some extent by looking at it as security and but I think what's interesting here is you have your, like you said, that there's the whispering going on,
Mhm.
and then underneath that shadow self, there's the other figure that's
Yeah.
playing with shadow.
Mhm.
So there's like this dual shadow self happening, which is interesting.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And I find that really interesting in contrast to the King of Wands with the High Priestess in it. Because the King of Wands to me is something it's very, there's a sense of clear sight to what you have and what you want.
Uh-huh.
And then the High Priestess brings that like further intuition into it, that like and that hidden knowledge that you it's weird. I'm having trouble reading this as blockers, like what's getting in your own way,
Mhm.
Yeah, me
which I
too.
find interesting.
Yeah,
Okay.
me too.
In this combination at least.
I understand that. And so if I'm also looking at the Nine of Wands, what I find really interesting is in the Nine of Wands there is the Magician, and when we look at this image, there is no head.
Yeah.
It's all about the tools.
Yeah.
It is all about the tools, and a lot of times if I'm thinking creatively, it is all about the tools.
Yeah.
And sometimes I lose my head and I don't finish things
Yeah.
because I'm always going, well, I could just make a new tool to do exactly what I needed. But then, so I go down that rabbit hole of where I'm trying to figure out what that thing is. And,
Yeah.
it's,
I think that's an excellent interpretation. That just sits really solidly in my heart as an interpretation for that card. Can I go back to the middle one, to the King of Wands and the
of
Empress?
course.
Because that took my breath away when I saw it. And I'm going to try to describe what came to me. Um, to me, the King of Wands is all about this active male energy,
Mhm.
and this very not quite gung ho, but very forward moving
Yes.
and thinking about action. Well, not thinking, just acting. Okay.
Mhm.
And that high priestess is very grounding for that king. That high priestess provides a balance of the, as Tom said, of the esoteric knowledge. So basically, to me, this is like a really well balanced wizard. Well, maybe not wizard, but kind of. The and why wizards are just like, that word is falling out of my mouth more than it has in the last year. That King of Wands with the High Priestess, I think that's a really stressful and very, very productive marriage.
That's a good point. I also think with the King of Wands and the High Priestess, if I'm thinking about where am I getting in my own way, or we can massage this, and it's like somebody suggested something. It's like Mama Sushi was like, "How can I better embrace my inner wisdom?" There was somebody else who said,
Inner wisdom is a good description
Yep.
of that card.
yes. And so I'm also looking at this is what could be causing problems. And now I realize that I oftentimes don't like asking questions that are negative.
Yeah.
Instead, I could say, how do I get how can I open myself up more.
Yeah.
So, but this, if this king does not line up and pay attention, they're going to go off the rails, because at
Yeah.
this point it looks like he's being grounded by the high priestess.
Yeah.
And I mean, literally, you have these connections, and it could be like he's got those beads wrapped around his wrist, and he uses those to keep him grounded.
Yeah, I mean, I'm very big on the idea of directionality in cards too.
Yes.
So what I find very interesting about this spread is that it's on a diagonal up. You're at a lower position.
Oh, yeah.
Then you're more higher seated. But then when you get to the third card, it is, I mean, literally a staircase of action going, with wands, of your wands going up. But even the magician himself, the cutout is floating above, like, what we're seeing of the magician is floating up, like he's floating up, he's ascending. So I would look at it I would really look at this as a like the movement forward and the movement up, but your king of wands is looking backwards. So he's focused on what's happening in that first card. He's focused on the murmuring that's happening, the whispers. And that may be where you'd get in with where I'm getting in my own way. Maybe you have the like vision and the leadership here of the position, and you have but you have this intuition, and you're sensing the whispers that are happening.
Yeah.
Excellent insight, Tom. I never would have ever thought to look at the progression of imagery like that, but wow, yes.
So I want to catch up with chat, because guess what? Surprise, the best chatters are bringing it. Okay. Beth says, I see small bottle between the voices in your head, so to speak, and what you want to create for yourself, maybe.
Yeah.
That definitely could be.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think the idea of listening to voices that aren't yours is good. That I would agree with that. Mama Sushi said, if there is an outlet or grounding energy, that's a very important point. And so, are you okay? Okay. Jacqueline said, I'm cursed with being too fabulous.
That's a given.
I mean, there you go. Rossi did point out that the King of Wands has two figures surrounding it. And one of the figures looks like he's holding the king back.
He's certainly clinging to the king, and whether that's an attempt to hold the king back, or it's just hanging on to the king to go along with him to make sure that they're not left behind. I can't tell, but there is definitely like something hanging on to the king, holding him back. I'm not sure about that.
And Maria said, I would probably read these as a large card being the area, and the whole piece being how you're getting in the way. And she said, like, the first card is your intuition and esoteric studies, and what's in the way is emotional immaturity.
I wouldn't call the Page of Cups. That's interesting, but I never thought of the Page of Cups as being emotionally immature. I suppose.
Go ahead.
I suppose it is, because it's not the knight, and it's not the king or the queen, obviously, but somehow young, yes, and learning, yes, but not necessarily emotionally immature, because to me that would signify someone who was oh, selfish and unaware of other people and sort of inconsiderate of other people in there. And I
Mhm.
never saw the, I mean, I could be wrong, but I never saw the Page of Cups because they're a messenger, so they're connecting with others.
Yeah.
Yes, but
You know?
in the hierarchy or in the evolution of an individual, pages, I understand what Maru is saying, and I agree with her. They are the less experienced.
Yeah.
They
Uh,
don't have as much experience. So,
I will accept less experienced, absolutely, but immature, well,
yeah. So, other great
sure,
comments
yes.
we've got High Play Love. Remember, it's like this one about which brings inner knowledge,
Yeah.
and the King of Wands has a fire in his belly.
Yeah, that's
Mm,
true.
yeah.
That's nice. Yeah.
That's true. Yeah.
The King of Wands is a call to action, but you're letting yourself keep, you're
Your
letting
mystery.
mystery keep you from acting. Oh, yeah. Well, hi,
Yeah.
Bobby. Good to see you. Donna Marie. Sylvia is here. Donna Marie is a quick
Done.
hello. Hi, Liz and all. I'm sorry you're in pain. And okay.
I think you may have mentioned this earlier, Gerald, but I also think it's quite telling that the last card
There's no head.
there's
No
no
head.
heads. It's all legs. It's all the lower half, but yet stationary.
Mm-hmm.
Even though the card indicates movement with the stairs, you're still you're steady sitting.
And with that in mind, is that without a head, I don't know where I'm going. I am suddenly in the what's his name stair. What's his name? This all of the stairs that repeat themselves.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah, sure.
Esther.
Escher. I'm in an
Yeah.
Escher room.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, okay. So one other thing that I like to do is like when I've done this reading, and it says, okay, where am I getting in my own way? But now I would go, all right, now that we know this, what do we do for it? And this is where what I would do is I would actually move these one card over.
Oh,
Mm.
Heidi Knapp has an interesting an interesting observation. She says all your heads are in the first two cards. Yeah.
Yep.
Who said that?
And had enough has said that.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Yeah. And the other interesting thing is that King of Wands should be your leader. It should be in that final well, but you know what I mean. Like it's combining the action of the King of Wands with that last card to accomplish what you set out to accomplish. But he's not even looking in that direction.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's problematic.
Yeah.
Man, that King of Wands just with these moved, it's amazing.
Yeah.
It
The
really
vibe
is,
change is just
Yeah. Totally.
so. In other words, if I'm reading this, I'm going to read this from. Let's read this from center out, because suddenly this King of Wands has the Magician embedded. So what has happened is for me, the King of Wands now has all of the tools needed to be able to manifest whatever the hell he wants.
Yeah.
And with that, then we have the High Priestess embedded into the 10 of Pentacles. And if you're looking at that, isn't that an interesting image?
Yeah.
I mean, because I'm going to geek out for a second. What I see there is I see ancestors whispering into a cauldron all of the stuff that I need in order to
Cook.
accomplish all of the things that I need to.
Yeah.
And
It's
look at the moons.
Yep.
The moons like align perfectly.
Yeah.
Yeah. And there's that moon with the King of Wands too.
Yep.
Yes. Yeah.
So the moons connect. Somehow the moon connects at least those first two cards.
Mm-hmm. Yes. And
Well, I mean, I think taking your intuition and that knowledge that you're saying that you're creating, that your ancestors are creating there,
Yeah.
into the next card, the moon is now pointing the direction of
yeah.
Excellent point.
And then if we look at this 9 of Wands embedded with the Page of Cups, what happens is because I'm always paying attention to what I'm always paying attention to is the elemental aspects of these cards. So in this card, we have fire and we have water put together in the right proportions. This can propel through. So suddenly, where we were headless before, we are actually have the enthusiasm of someone who is new and is excited. And that's what's going to get us up the stairs.
Yeah.
And I didn't even notice that it's not a fish in the Page of Cups. It's a little Wanda, right? A little bird.
Little bird. A
I
little
think you may be
messenger
correct.
from
I've
So,
never noticed that.
yeah. So, okay. So this is actually really insightful. I have the tools that I need to, find my own way. Actually, maybe that's a better question. What do I do to find my own way? Or what can I do? Okay.
But you have the tools, yeah.
Yeah. So you have the tools. And then, by the way, because it's me,
Can't help himself.
I know. FAFO. Yeah.
so and isn't it interesting? The King of Wands, it actually looks like it's a complete card.
Yeah.
And so what's interesting, and Linda's going to go, haha, I told you so, Gerald. What this is telling me is that there needs to be more play in what I'm doing and just more enjoyment.
Yeah. More fun. Everybody needs more fun.
So anyhow, there we go. Okay, I'm going to, so the last card adds youthful enthusiasm to having all the elements, tools, air, bird, Page of Cups, water seated near greenery, pentacles, and what? Yeah.
Yeah.
So
very true.
Excellent insight.
Yes, thank you. King of Wands also has the stave of lightning in his hand, so taking action at the right moment. Nice. And yes, these are the light seers and the deviant moon, and I have manipulated them. Oh, and actually,
and there was one
is there.
Yeah.
So,
there's one druid craft, but I don't know which one.
Oh, yeah, the magician was the druid craft.
Yeah, this is the yeah. And yes, Marjorie, clearly lots of interpretation. You just go with what you hear when you look at them.
Yep.
That's something that Tom was reminding us of.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, except that it's fun to just go through them line by line,
Well, yes.
I mean, I think it's an easy, I mean, I don't want to say easy, but I think it's potentially a trap that I think some readers fall into at times, is by just being rote about the definitions, you know,
Yeah.
and what I like about this especially is how you're kind of taking it and just throwing it together, and that's why I was saying before that I really like the idea of just looking at it um as a whole.
Yep,
Yeah.
you're right.
It's interesting to me, but I also agree with how you had done it too, because like it's good to have that understanding, that foundational understanding of the cards in relation to the question, and then
Yeah.
turning it. So I don't know, but I think that's something that I would probably determine based on the question at hand
Yes.
and who was asking it, I think.
Mhm. Well, and I think, I think there's a great deal of power in. I will oftentimes start with the basic meaning, and then I'll start looking at the images, and then I'll suddenly go, oh, and then this, and then this, and then certain things open up. I get jacked into Akashic records and different channeling and that. One of the things that I like to do is I rotated this page of cups, so it's sort of like a yin and yang.
Yeah.
The page is upside down, so
That's okay. Because they can roll along together.
yep, yeah. Amanda's like going, these are wild ass cards. I just zoomed in on my phone. Yeah. Okay. So
Yeah. The thing I like about this reading is that for me, it gives a lot of information both about the major stumbling block and what's available in terms of your own resources and your tools to overcome it.
Yes.
I wasn't expecting that. I really wasn't. That's so cool. That's so tarot, isn't it?
It is.
I know. It's just you always get more than you ask for.
Well, yeah, when we're lucky.
Yeah,
Okay.
well,
So
yeah.
all right. So the last card I see, handling and knowing.
You
You
have a
have
choice.
a
Yeah.
choice. Oh, that's good. So again, I'm mixing these. So just sort of doing that. And by the way, if people are curious, how do you know, Gerald, which cards are the circle punch cards? Do I need to tell you how? I put a big circle on them. Anyhow, who would like to go next? All right, I'm going to nominate Tom. Do you want to go next?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Okay. Which deck would you like to use, Tom? We have the Deviant Moon. We have the Rider Tarot. We have the Druid Craft and the Light Seers. Or you can just use one.
I want to see Deviant Moon and Rider Waite.
Okay. And what would your question be? How do you want to spin the question? Is this still a good question, or?
I think it's still a good question. I would leave it as it is. That's
Okay.
what we put out there before. Let's go with that.
Okay. And thank you everybody for being here. And how many cards would you like me to pull, Tom?
23. No.
Yes.
3.
Oh, you're joking, please.
Which card would you which deck would you like to have the one?
Deviant Moon. Let's go with Deviant Moon.
Okay. Here, we'll do this.
So the Deviant Moon is your base, and then the other one will be the holes.
Yeah.
Whichever works. However, I'm along for Gerald's. Like Gerald's just driving the car. I'm here for the ride.
All right. And by the way, keep your head and your arms inside the ride at all times. Don't, he'll do it, Tom. Don't test him. I would do it. So
That's true.
You can't change the radio. You can't change the channel on the radio either, Tom.
Okay. So
Oh, well,
Tom, I'm going to ask
I
you.
trust Gerald's music taste, so that's okay.
Ah, yes, we do have that in common. I'm going to ask you top, middle, or bottom.
Bottom.
Ooh.
Top, middle, or bottom.
Let's go all bottoms. Interesting.
So this is very interesting because we have the Empress, we have the Three of Cups, and then we have the Hanged Man. So, okay, we're getting a lot of teehees. You know, so I'll go bottom.
I'm glad at least Bobby got my joke at first.
Oh, I totally got it.
Oh, so did I. I just didn't say anything.
All right.
Amazingly, I showed some restraint. I know.
All right. I'm randomly pulling out little cards, and so I've got 3 circles. 1, 2, and 3. What number do I put here?
2.
What number do I put here? 1 or
1.
3? Okay.
And 3.
All right. So, Tom, here's what we got for you. We have the King of Swords with the Empress. And
Whoa.
this is from the Deviant Moon. We have the Four of Cups from the Druid Craft. And then we have the Four of Swords from the the Light Seers. This is interesting.
Wow, the first thing I notice is the King of Swords is in the Empress's belly.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And so that changes her nature quite a bit because she's no longer like the nurturing sort of earth goddess kind of almost persona, right? She's now crafty and cunning and extremely smart. And very, very strategic and very tactical, and also has all of her own power intact. Okay, because she's still holding her. I think that's a scepter. She's still holding her scepter. So she has just become. She's just gained a whole new set of skills and abilities, and hasn't lost any of the ones that she had. She's just become really, really powerful.
My initial reaction seeing these cards together is this is all emotion based for you.
Oh yeah.
We have the middle. We have the 3. There's a celebration, but then there's the meh after it. It's the disappointment that the celebration is over.
Yep.
And so Rossi said that middle card is now a 7 of Cups. That's an insightful thing.
That's very interesting. I was not thinking of it in that way. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. Linda de Gonzalez, I never want to hear you say, I know nothing about the major arcana. Never, ever again. Can you say that right on with the Empress? So there you go. So, but this is really emotional based. And okay, that being said, this is emotional based, but then we go to the Empress, who is, the king is doing certain things to the empress right now. The King of Swords, someone who uses their tongue a lot, maybe.
You
Sorry.
can't do that to an old woman. You're giving me palpitations. Oh, sorry.
Well, okay. So
It wasn't that funny. Okay, yeah, you're right. I shall just
no,
shut
it
her
was funny. It was funny. Okay.
Damn.
Tom, are you blushing right now?
Maybe a little bit.
Okay. So, no, but here's what's really interesting. The king is trying to maybe this is what you're doing. You're trying to force something that has not grown in its own time. You're trying to do things out of season.
That's interesting. Okay.
Because the king is very masterful, very directive, wanting to, we're doing this, we're doing this, we're doing this. But the king is a lesser emperor, and the empress and the emperor do very well together because the king knows the edges of the kingdom, and it's the empress who will run everything inside the kingdom. Don't mess with her.
Yeah.
Give her all of the money and give her all of the resources, and she will make sure everyone has plenty.
Yeah. And
so this really feels like, I could even say perhaps, and Maru may have done that.
Yeah.
You're letting your right brain get in the way of your left brain, or you're letting your left brain get in the way of your right brain.
Yeah.
And let me just say, this is very reminiscent of the conversation that we had right before we were coming on about the matriarchy and the patriarchy.
Yes.
Which is very interesting that it's echoing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Because those two are very definitely archetypal.
Oh,
right?
Yes.
Yep.
And Beth has brought up the king really conflicts with the empress. Her energy is calm. His is aggressive in that card. Yeah. But then, okay, so go ahead.
I would argue one thing too. So that's the King of Swords, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
He's holding the sword that's leading right to her scepter.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So it's all connected there, which I find really interesting.
Yes.
Is it supporting the scepter, or is it ready to cut it off?
That is a distinction that needs to be seen.
Mm-hmm. I think that's a really interesting thing, because if you were to get these two balanced, your left and your right brain, or the understanding of natural rhythms and cycles, and when do you force something, when do you over fertilize it to get tomatoes that don't taste like anything, or when do you go, all right, we'll plant that, we'll allow that to come to fruition. In the meantime, I'm going to work on this.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. That is just a fascinating combination.
Yeah.
I'm going to be dreaming about that for days, I can tell.
Now, here's something interesting. We haven't talked about this last card.
No.
Agreed.
So the Hanged Man and the Four of Swords. I think these cards feel very much okay. I'm just going to start now. I'm jacked in, so
let it go. Let it go.
These
let it rip.
cards, Tom, are actually a similar energy, but for a different purpose.
Mm-hmm.
The Hanged Man, and I'm going to make a leap. You want enlightenment, and you're willing to hang yourself upside down so that all the blood rushes to your brain, so that your brain can work better, so that you can remember things and process it. And that takes time. This Four of Swords says you need to give your brain a break. You need to take a freaking nap. Go buy a coloring book and just color.
Yeah.
Go play some music. It doesn't
True.
need to make sense.
Yeah. I think it's about paying attention to yourself and to what you are. Well, and it in a weird kind of way, it echoes the message from, or part of the message anyway, from the Empress about cycles, and there's a time, and all of the rest of that. Part of that is learning to listen to your own signals from your body and your heart saying, oh yeah, no, I can't stand this, I got to have a nap. You know,
Agreed.
and or I can't do this anymore, I got to go do something else for an hour because this is just breaking my brain, you know.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think that's very accurate. It's very. I think that really speaks a lot. I didn't, and it's quite interesting. Then when you look back at the center card,
Yeah.
where the celebrate the quick wins, but there's always disappointment afterwards.
Yeah.
And I think that would be the same based around the enlightenment, like what you have said, Gerald, which is very interesting.
Yeah.
There's quick paths and overthinking and overworking to get there, but sometimes, yeah.
It's like a one night stand, right? I mean, there's the quick fun, and then you go, oh, God,
Exactly.
I hope he doesn't stay for breakfast, you know.
Yeah.
Rossi said, pursue enlightenment, but there needs to be a period of rest before you search for enlightenment again. Very real energy.
Yeah.
And you won't gain enlightenment without self-care.
Excellent.
The masculine energy within the feminine approach to manifestation.
Ooh.
All this is telling me is that Maru needs to come on and do this.
Huh?
Maruda has to come on and do this because she's I think on fire today with these.
Yeah.
Well, yes, and Maru, you're welcome to come on. I love doing these things. Isn't that a Scorpio thing to overdo things? I know
Virgo.
not of what you speak.
Virgo does exactly the same thing.
Yeah. And oh, here you go. Maybe it's foretelling prophetic dreams.
Well, now that's an interesting wow. Because the hanged man is in suspension, isn't he?
Yeah, and the thread of the I
Yeah.
mean, I don't know what this card looks like in total, but it looks to me like there's threads supporting the hanged
This
man
one?
here.
Yeah.
Yeah. The red
Is that a
threads.
fishing rod?
And actually, she's laying in a nest. And
Okay.
okay. So I do have to say, I'm pointing this out, and I'm saying this respectfully. I would also I would watch your consumption of alcohol and adult beverages, and it because that may be interfering with what is natural abilities.
Interesting. Okay.
So,
Yeah.
because I, the 3 suggest, woo, let's go out and have a good time. And then the 4 goes, wow, did I really do that? Now I don't want to do anything.
I hope nobody took any pictures.
Yeah, I hope nobody took pictures, because if I were there, we would be taking video.
It would be on Facebook by midnight. Yeah.
No, I would never do that. I would just, here you go. Almost looks
Blackmail.
like a cocoon.
Exactly, blackmail. Maybe.
Okay. Did you want to add anything to this, Tom, before I do something else with it?
No. I'm curious I'm been waiting now to see the next path of this. Mm.
Change of perspective along with rest. That really could mean prophetic, you know?
Yeah.
I see where Madame Maru, yeah.
Mm.
So this is one of those things where this is a cautionary tale, Tom. As I'm reading this, this feels cautionary to me. Do not allow the Empress or the divine feminine aspects of yourself and those around you to feel dissatisfied in me.
Mm.
So the importance of nothing is scarier than an Empress that's not happy.
That is true.
Yep.
And then the other thing, and this one, this is interesting. We could lay this in multiple ways.
Mm.
This one here, it's like maybe. Oh, and by the way, we had two fours. So we had the 4 of cups and the 4 of swords. It might be time to turn your ability of celebrating upside down and to go, well, let's just do that. Maybe the celebration is I get to sleep in.
That sounds like my life.
Mm.
So, and looks like
I'd
she
also
wants
argue that the king is also the 4th because it's the 4th court card.
Yeah.
Very
That's
good.
4s, 3 4s.
Very good.
Yeah.
Oh, and Beth said the Empress card now seems as though you're not taking good enough care of yourself.
Yeah.
You never fill yourself up.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably true.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
That is a
yeah,
good
and
point,
2
Rossi.
3s as well.
Yeah.
Good point, Rossi. So, and in this one, I would say,
Mm.
I think there's the cautionary about that is for you to want to take a nap and then you don't actually get up from the nap. I've never done that. I've never taken a 20-minute nap that lasted 14 hours. Never. Don't look at me. I've not done that.
I may have just done that like 2 days ago.
Yeah. I have not done that this month. Oh shoot. Yes, I did. Okay. And so what do you think about the Hanged Man and the King of Swords?
Well, that's really my eye's been just glued to that since you laid those out because the Hanged Man is looking at a change in perspective, and is kind of suspended waiting, and this change of perspective, I mean, sort of like mixed up together. And is that king the perspective that he's seeking? Or is that king the perspective that's coming to him or leaving him? Or what exactly is going on? Is the king even the perspective?
Mm-hmm.
Now you're making it too hard, Linda. I don't know.
Well, I mean, it's like, I don't know. These are just the questions I have.
Yeah, it's interesting because like
Look what oil painter. Look what Diana just said.
Man, see the ground.
Oh, the Hanged Man and
Yeah.
the King. The man can see the Grail from that position, but the greedy king has can't see it, so neither one will get the prize.
Interesting.
Whoa. Okay.
And the King of
See,
Swords.
it's the swords though, because I'm thinking. So, like in my mind, I'm thinking that's about mental clarity, and so it's interesting. To me, I was seeing this once it was shifted. I was seeing that last card as a more positive aspect of, make these changes and
Use
this is
your
the
mind.
result.
Yeah.
But that's oil painter raises a very interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, and also Beth does that. King of Swords looks so peeved. Are you saying? Are they saying just quit hanging around and do it already?
Well, except that
I
the hanged man is an organic kind of hanging around. Like it's not hanging around because you got your thumbs up your butt and you're just lazy. It's like it's a part of a process of creation, right?
Yeah.
It's
yes,
not it's not just willfully buggering off and leaving it all and just saying, yeah, I'm going to hang out here for a while. And I don't think that um like a cocoon, I don't think that it's certainly, I mean, if anybody tried to cut down a cocoon, it's not going to survive, is it?
right. Well, and the King of Swords is there to cut him down, and it's like the King of Swords is the super ego. Here you go. What if it's just a balance of opposites? It looks
Excellent
like
point.
they're working well together. Maybe they will play well too. And
Yeah.
the
You're just going to
king.
skip over what Bobby said earlier, Gerald?
Oh, I can put it up. Now I'm thinking of Gerald in bed. Now Linda's leaving.
No, no.
But
Linda's just bringing more light because my lighting sucks and I don't know what to do about it. But anyway, yeah,
So-
balancing opposites. That's an interesting
and the
one.
king is his enlightenment freeing him from inactivity.
Yeah.
And even Wanda agrees.
Thank you,
No.
Wanda.
She's just annoyed with the budgies.
Yeah. And Beth said the hanged man has many representations, but one is suspended activity.
Yeah.
Because and that's very true, because what happens is if we're talking about, where am I getting in my own way? And because part of it is then you're suddenly dreaming about all of the things, because this is this turned into that 7 of cups.
Yep.
And part of that, a great distraction is saying, I'm doing research.
Right. I'm feeling called out. Okay.
Okay. Well, I actually called
You
myself
did.
I called myself out on that one, and I'm like, well, I've only been, I've been researching how to do this for 3 weeks, and it took me 5 minutes
Yeah.
to do it.
Yeah.
So,
I will think about something this is something that used to drive supervisors wild when I was still working. I would think about something. I would take like an hour or 2 hours to think about something that would make a job that I had take less time to do. Instead of just doing the job, like how can I do it faster, easier, better?
but there's a difference of when you're actually working to improve it, when you're actually going for enlightenment, to when you're doing it for inactivity, but you don't know that that's what's happening.
Yeah.
So, and I want credit for not putting the king like this.
I thought I noticed that and I kind of wondered, but I wasn't willing to call you out. So,
well, and somebody had mentioned, was it had enough? Somebody had actually mentioned that the king is now looking at the other cards.
Yeah. And the hanged man is just staring dead ass at me like the Empress.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Wow.
Work smarter, not harder.
Yep. Yeah,
King
I'm very
Swords.
lazy. Work smarter and not harder has been my byword for decades now. Yeah.
So, no, Bobby, I did not. So, Tom, do you have questions about this?
No, I think everything's been spelled out crystal clear.
Okay. Okay, and on a very serious note, do you have an idea of what you can do differently moving forward?
I think so. Yes.
Okay.
Taking better care of yourself.
Because if
Well,
you
that's it.
don't,
Yeah.
That would be kind of like
I wasn't thinking about that, but yes, you're right.
that would be like number one out of everything.
Yeah.
All the permutations that we've gone through, that's kind of like number one in my mind, is just looking after yourself better. resting when you need to.
Mm.
And and I moved them one more time. Hashtag
Ooh.
overachiever. So the Empress knows the importance of timing and rest.
Yes.
And I'm just going to say it. Don't fuck with her. Don't try to force things to go out of order. Nobody can inspire and allow you to get some movement than the King of Swords. And, the Knight would do it, but the King has a maturity about it.
Yeah.
The King says swallow. But then the Hanged Man, sometimes you actually need to rest because to get over your disappointment. It's like what Linda said. Don't work harder, work smarter. Use that time of, you know what? I got to think about this.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, and Bobby is like going, the Empress provides protection during healing.
Yep.
Yeah.
Morella has joined us.
Hi, Morella.
And Beth says, I feel so much calmer seeing the Empress
Yeah.
this way.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
Work smarter, not harder.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love that.
It's really interesting seeing the tipped over cup, the shirt of the Hanged Man, like his tunic or whatever, it just looks like water just flowing into that enlightenment.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah. Yeah. Whoa.
So wait a minute, Tom. Are you saying that emotions are good and they can help us with enlightenment?
No.
Yeah, I guess so.
Because look at the fish swallowing that king.
Somebody had mentioned Jonah and the whale. Hi, Tanis.
Hi, Tanis.
Hey, Dennis.
Yeah.
Okay.
Really interesting.
It is. It is.
It's all about balance, isn't it? It's about it's about looking after yourself better, and it's about balancing your emotions with your reason, and it's about taking time and space when you need it to let things sort of ferment in your head.
Yep.
and not try to force them.
Yes.
All right.
Yes, very much so. I found it interesting that both readings are to some extent, about balance.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Curious to see where the third goes.
Linda, you're up. What deck would you like to use as a base?
As a base? Oh no. Let's use the Light Seers as the base and the Druid Craft, or whatever because you're not going to be able to pick out the punched holes. So yeah, let's use the Light Seers as the base.
Okay. I want to say thank you to everybody who is watching this. I love geeking out about this stuff. This is fun. Tom, I'm glad you came for this. So.
I am too. This is really fun. I've always been curious about your punch decks and how it would be to read with them. So it's always, I find it very interesting.
Well, thank you.
As Beth says, the fish has had it and is telling the king to shut the F up.
There you go. And Jeff Tarot Ask Backwards is here. Hello.
Hey, Jeff.
So
I haven't been on Jeff's channel in a while. I gotta hop into his chat at some point.
All right. So, Linda.
Yes.
Is this an okay question for you?
She's the one that came up with it.
Yes, I was the one that came up with it. So clearly it's something that...
All right. Here. Just in case you can't see it.
Well, the tiny hands got big.
Yeah, where is that tiny hand when you need it, huh?
Right here. It's got fingernail polish on it.
Of course it does.
Oh, and it
Okay.
matches the stuff you're wearing too. Oh, that's so cute. Oh my God.
Okay, so top, middle, or bottom?
Top, please.
Top, middle, or bottom?
Middle, please.
Top, middle, or bottom?
Top.
Top.
Yeah.
Okay,
Ooh, that's interesting.
there you go. So, oh, here, let's really make it. Let's
Ooh.
edge Linda first.
Uh,
So, I have pulled out.
you
I
bastard.
pulled out three circle punches. Do you want? Where do you? What do you want
Go
to go in this one? 1, 2, or 3?
random.
What?
Just pick them randomly. Okay, 3. Good. That's it. That's the one. 1.
There.
Yeah.
Okay, so what we have then is in this first position for what is where is Linda getting in her own way? We have the 8 of Wands and the 6 of Cups. It's a really fascinating image, isn't it? So
Yeah.
I want to.
Wow.
Really fascinating.
Yeah.
Trying to get that to focus. We have the 2 of Cups and the Sun. And then we have the Lovers and the 6 of Swords.
Mm.
What's interesting is these two cards here. The punch is from the same deck, and I pulled them at random.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Light shining in and out of family and fur babies, good union, family communication. Tom, what are your thoughts on this?
My immediately when you put everything out, the immediate hit for me was it's about companionship.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And that was the immediate.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree with you. I think that's quite clear because 6 of Cups,
Mm-hmm.
2 of Cups.
Yep.
Or, excuse me, yeah, 6 of Cups with the 2 of Cups here, and
the Lovers,
and then and then the Lovers with the 6 of Swords. So, yeah, I'm gonna pause right there and go. How you doing, Linda? Is this too close?
No. How could it be too? I mean, it's the truth, right? It just like I'm not right now. I'm still like absorbing the ways in which companionship, the whole idea of companionship is getting in my way, or no, I've put it. I don't even know how to say it yet. Just give me a little bit of time with it. So yeah, okay. So yeah, go ahead. I mean, I'll watch this again after because there's like clearly I missed that whole last part of the conversation.
Well,
I mean, it's also about movement too. I mean, you have the 8 of Wands, which is just nothing but movement.
Yeah.
And then the 6 of Swords about moving on.
Mm-hmm.
It's yeah.
Yeah. Just to get caught up in some of the chat. Bobby said saving each other from trauma. And Tanis is liking this. Beth said, drawing from past experiences, I would say Linda works really well with others, and interactions are instrumental in her growth.
That's
I don't
so
see much
kind.
negative.
That's so kind, Beth. Thank you.
I don't see much negative in it at all either. Morella says, yes, radiating friendship. I mean, the fact that we have the Two of Cups, which is a card of healing, and friendship with the sun.
The sun is just like,
and how freaking perfect is that? It's like it was supposed to be there.
I know. I loved it. I love that. It's like the hands are holding a dandelion. You know.
Yep. Yes, 2 dogs, 2 hands, 2 birds. Yep. 2 of Cups and the lovers pierced by the sun, and 6 of Swords, getting away from relationships to a happier space.
Yeah.
Yes, we
Getting
do.
away from a certain kind of relationship. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, here you go. We have service, family, and community. Good grief. You have 3 sixes, cups, swords, and lovers.
I don't know what that means.
There's the 6 of cups.
Yeah, but I don't know. I don't know what it means to have 3 sixes.
There's look up numerology about 6s when you have repeating things.
Yeah.
Linda, go ahead and not Linda, Diana, go ahead and type it in so that you can help her. So, but I was noticing that we had there's the 6 and the 6 of Swords and the lovers. So there's a union. They work together, and 2 6s together make 12, which is a hanged empress when you reduce it down. But 3 6s is an 18, which is a moon hermit, an 18-9. And I am a moon hermit. So I love the middle card. I'd love as a pocketbook like that. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that would make a lovely handbag, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Deeply emotional bonds.
Yeah.
Yep. That's true.
Play, love, and remember.
That's somebody's username. She's replying to.
Okay. But I like that. I like that a lot. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, it fits. Like, honestly,
it really does. It really does. Play, love, and remember. Had enough said each card radiates.
So how am I getting how does this tell me how I'm getting in my own way?
We are free in spirit form, and people are watching over her. That's also the partnership, is what I'm getting based off the appearances. Nice. Service to others.
Oh, that's interesting.
6s are about home and family. Yes, 9s are ends and new beginnings.
Yeah. So 369 is the whole magical, the vibration of the universe, according to Nikola Tesla, and I think he was absolutely right.
Yes. 6, yeah.
Oh, there it is. Yeah.
Yep. 6 is harmony, the 6th sphere of the tree of life. Terfet, the Christ consciousness. Playing off the 6s, Linda finds joy in helping people find clarity for her own growth and karmic path.
That's absolutely true. Yes.
Yep. The number 6 is the embodiment of the heart. It represents unconditional love and the ability to support, nurture, and heal. It is a powerful force of compassion and empathy. And its warm light is a beacon of hope.
Wow.
We're all drawn to Linda. And Bobby also was saying 666 means you're possessed.
That's what I was waiting for somebody to say that.
Six is also about balance.
Yes.
The
Yeah.
emotional bonds can be very deep, so watch for people pleasing.
Yes, that was
Yeah.
a hard lesson for me to learn, but I did. I'm a
Yes.
big believer in boundaries now.
So, okay, so you were asking, where are you getting in your own way?
Yeah. Ah, Diana, you kill me.
It's out. Mm. Yeah. So about the question,
Yeah.
so where you're getting in your own way is okay, and part of this is the image is this has all been very quick. This enlightenment, this things are coming so quickly, and sometimes it's necessary for you to go. Sometimes I'd like just for me and the pets to be able to hang out and do that and have that rhythm. Um, you I don't see anything wrong with this card at all. I mean, but go ahead,
Yeah.
Tom.
Yeah, no, I was gonna say it's one of those instances where, like you had said earlier, Gerald, like that you don't like to ask a negative question because I'm not sure how to interpret this card in a way that would make it a block or a getting in your own way. It's a tough.
Yeah. I mean,
Well,
carrying the sun around in your handbag, like, what could be terrible? Well, all right, so you might get a sunburn when you reach in to get your wallet out, but other than that, I don't see the downside.
I think
Yeah.
part of the downside, and this isn't a downside, it may be something that's getting in your way. We have the sun, which is number 19 in the major arcana, and we have a 2.
Mm.
A
Yeah.
2 is a low number. A 19 reduces to a 10-1. So part of what may be happening is it could be that you're getting so much enlightenment, it's sort of out of balance. You have to figure out how do you cope with this much and still be emotionally available and connected with people
Yeah.
And grounded. Yeah.
and grounded.
Yeah.
Um,
And I think
and
it's quite interesting that the movement of the first card, to me at least, is it's shooting inwards, like it's shooting in, and then the movement of the six swords is out. They're moving in opposite directions,
mhm. Yeah.
and I'm trying to work out the way that I would how I would interpret that across these cards.
Well, to me, to me that it makes sense uh, because it's part of a wheel, right? It comes in, it goes out. It comes in, it goes out. The messages that I receive as a reader, I put out, so the enlightenment isn't mine as such, because
Mhm.
I'm the pipeline. I'm the
You're the
pipeline.
conduit. Yeah.
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 And so whatever goes in has to come out. Well, I mean, it's going to come out one way or the other, but it goes in, it comes out again as a message for whoever wants to hear it. And you said something interesting about Gerald earlier. You said something interesting about how this was all happening so quickly. Well, if you don't count 40 years of daily prayer and meditation, and yeah, like, because I've only had my channel for a year, so it looks really fast, but there was groundwork starting from when I was 17,
Of
you
course.
know that you don't see, you don't know about. unless I tell you.
Which
So
makes perfect sense to why this isn't really overwhelming. It's not shutting you down. It's
no,
propelling
not at
you
all.
forward.
Yeah, exactly.
It's the enthusiasm about this. It's like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, I've worked for this.
Yeah.
So,
This is what this was all about. This is what that daily prayer was for. This was this was about. Why I struggled so many decades trying to frickin' meditate and falling asleep every time. Well, yeah, I was exhausted. I had a full-time job. I had 3 kids. I had this. I had that. Yeah, of course I was exhausted. Every chance I got to relax, I just fell asleep. So, it's only been recently in the last couple of years that I've been able to meditate properly, quote unquote, at all, you know.
so Beth said, yes, Tom. In my view, it's because Linda draws on her past memories, which is inward, to reach out to the world to serve people and grow on her karmic path, which is very outward.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I do have to get caught up in some of these great comments because we like going, it's like, Linda, you appear to be fucking perfect from this reading.
Oh, honey, you come
I
visit
want to
me.
leave that up there. So at 1:36:51, you're fucking perfect, Linda.
You come visit. You'll see very quickly that I am far from being perfect. Yes.
Yeah. And Hattie brings up a good point. Love these cards, but it can be bombarding.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it can be bombarding, but I have real good boundaries now. And so and I am guarded by some guides and angels that are pit bulls. Well, no, but you know what I mean. Like they're fierce guardians of my
Protective.
peace of mind. Yeah, they're very protective. And so yeah.
Overwhelmed by warmth.
Mm.
Okay, here's a thought. The 6 of Cups and the 8 of Wands makes me think of your Akashic messages. Could your powers have gotten in the way of your relationships?
No, because I don't have any. No, actually I do. I have, like, in real life, aside from online with you guys and with the chatters and everything, I have real friends that I've had for decades and who love me and who I love and with whom I'm in constant texting and so on. So no, they're what I hear from my closest friends is that they're so happy they see me blooming. I've heard that word from 2 different people on 2 different ends of the country in the last week. So 2 people who don't know each other, who both know me, but yeah.
Spirit guide, you say, protective like the dog in the first card.
Yeah. Exactly like that. Yeah.
Okay, so and Diana said, and if we look at all the 2s, 2 dogs, hands, birds, and the lovers, 8 of Wands, the 2 times 4 to be 8. 8 of Wands divided evenly by 2 and becomes 4. This is such stability. Yes.
Yeah.
So she gets in her way by being way too stable.
Actually, you
that could be true. That actually
be very true because she's not willing to have a different experience of something that is going to allow her to have enlightenment.
Yeah.
Because it's different. It's like, whoa, wait a minute. I've not done that before. So,
but I usually do it anyway.
Yes. Yes. But you just make everybody put their cell phones down.
Well, but yeah.
So, okay.
What's wrong with that?
I didn't say anything was wrong with that.
I don't want any photos, please. No.
The Lovers is ruled by Gemini, Mercury. That 6 of Swords is Aquarius. That's a whole lot of overthinking.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, and Virgo rising. So, yeah, overthinking. Yeah.
The dog is loyalty.
Yeah.
So the first card has a real yin yang quality to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does.
J Cat Lady said, sounds like me, no relationship, just a great grandson. I wish, loved it. Okay. I get
Okay,
it.
what I meant by that was that I don't have any intimate relationships. Let's put it that way. I have some,
Well, what do you mean, Linda?
and I don't. I miss the companionship, but not much else. There's any man who comes into my life is going to have to compete with my solitude, and right now my solitude is wonderful to me.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I don't have any intimate relationships.
Yeah.
I have
And
really close friends, like intimate friends,
yeah.
who know me, have known me for like I said, decades, and yeah, that's my support, that's my network, that's my yeah, but
So
no.
I'm going to say Bobby's comment like I'm sure he said it. Like I said, overthinking. So no risk, leap of faith, Linda, jump.
Oh yeah, I mean, I am.
Yep.
I am.
Oh, I know you are. Yeah. You go with the tide, flow. Surfboard is still there.
Yeah.
Yep.
Hey, hi, Pierrette.
Pierrette, hello.
Bobby, you are so close to the truth. You have no idea. I miss but more than anything at my age, I miss the companionship.
Should I play that video that everybody doesn't like with this comment up there?
Well, it's late enough in the evening, and you probably get away with it. Yeah.
Yeah. So. Yeah. So
okay.
So I think something that I want to point out with this is I do find the multiple sixes very important.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, they are.
But you can also do this. We could.
I was waiting for you to do that.
Well, but we can move the swords differently. It creates a different image.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, okay. So now we need to do this. How about that? That's a lot of love there. And
oh, that's oh, isn't that lovely?
Very interesting.
Because birds, to me, they mean messengers from spirit.
Mm-hmm.
So where we had the joined hands holding the sun, now we have the joined hands holding these birds that are bringing messages from spirit.
Yes, and what's interesting is these birds are actually they're tethered. They're pulling the boat along.
That's right.
And so when you see it here, it looks like these strings are attached to fingers.
So they're pulling. Oh, spirit's pulling. Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
Yes, I didn't. I was sort of watching this, and I'm like, this way is even more positive. I'm like, yes.
Yeah.
Yes, Wanda's chiming in.
Oh yeah, because one of the budgies is looking at her.
Yep. Resembling love and strength.
Yeah.
Oh, that's beautiful. And look at the sun rushing with the eight of wands.
Oh yeah.
That is so cool.
Yeah, the combinations are really, really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting because to me the Eight of Wands flipped here. Before I felt like they were rushing in, and now it's radiating out.
Yeah. Exactly. I see that too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. Loyalty of the dogs with the lovers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And J Cat Lady, you're cool. I completely understand. So I'd like to paint that first card.
That first card is a doozy, isn't it?
Yes. Yeah, and you have Diana's approval, Tom.
That's all I asked for.
Yes. Yes. And even Tanis agrees with you, so this is great. So Bobby said a birth announcement, finding a group of friends that widen your thinking, very happy home life.
It is a very happy home life.
Yeah.
Me and Wanda and Daphne and Gerald, we're happy. We're very
Gerald is
happy.
one of the budgies, not me.
Yeah, Gerald is one of the budgies. Don't get all excited, okay?
Yeah.
And birth announcement. Yeah, I can't think who's going to be.
Well, somebody just laid an egg.
Oh, that's true. Ah, look, Wanda's egg that she laid on Saturday
I love that.
Wow.
for the first time in her life. Her 20, I don't know how old she is, 21 or 22. I keep forgetting.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, so yeah, that was a birth announcement, wasn't it?
So
There's no baby in the egg. Okay, let's just be really clear. This is an unfertilized cockatoo egg. There's no baby in here. Oh my. Oh my, that's even more interesting. Look at that.
And I put, you could also put it this way, but I sort of like it this way because it's because of the strings. It visually looks better.
Yeah.
That is so cool. And again, it feels like it's rushing outwards with the bird,
Mm-hmm.
that way the birds are upside down, right?
I do. I mean,
Okay.
because
No, I'm just telling you. No, I'm just telling you. That's all.
He did it for aesthetic reasons.
Yeah. And now the family and the dogs are now in the handbag, in the purse.
Well, what's interesting is
So
the
cool.
lovers now feels like the lovers is not just romantic relationships. It's about partnerships. It's about balancing the yin and the yang.
Yep.
And so when you stick the sun in there, it shines. There's so much
heat,
power to that, and possibilities that it's going to shine light on that balance. And I love this one.
Yeah.
This one hurts my head. So. And I mean, that's cute. Come on. How cute is that?
It's very cute. It is just adorable.
Tom, do you have anything else to say to add about this?
I don't. I keep saying it's interesting, but it is. I'm wondering if I feel like the card choice, the deck choice, more likely the deck choice, definitely sets the tone, I think.
Yes.
In this, which is interesting. But this one was this last reading was very interesting to me because it was very, very positive all around for the most part. So it was interesting to see that in the context of the query, the question that was, initially raised. So that's something I always kind of struggle with in readings, especially when I'm doing like deck interviews and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
When I'm looking what are the what's the negative aspect of my relationship with this deck or whatever, and I'm doing an interview for it, and it'll come up with a very positive feeling card, and it's just like I always struggle with how to interpret that. And it was very interesting to walk through that process with this.
Yeah.
Lisa wanted to see the sun flipped. And Rossi said, "I wonder what these would be like with the deviant moon."
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, and Beth is right. The light seers is very
Yeah.
positive, as the name suggests.
Yeah.
And Diana said, "Eight of Wands with the birds reminds me of the movie The Birds. Chaos is message coming."
Oh, okay.
And
Okay.
this is saying play, play, play.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with that actually.
Yeah.
To go out in the
Focused
sun.
on what others think, unable to look outside the happiness of the home and joy in unions.
Mm.
Hmm. You know,
It really
Bobby,
does. Yeah.
for many decades I did not have a happy home.
Mm-hmm.
And so my happy home is really precious to me.
Mm-hmm.
Even if I'm in it with me and three birds, it's really precious to me. So yeah.
Right. So, wow.
But I don't think
I,
I'm
di-
able to look outside of it. But anyway, yeah, joy in unions, absolutely.
I didn't
That
realize you had three birds.
Yeah, there's two budgies. They're kind of feral. Their
Yeah.
names are Daphne and Gerald. And
So three
it's a
birds
big
on the Six of Swords there.
Oh yeah, well, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't notice that. I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep. There's three birds. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to switch my camera.
Okay.
So you get to see me now.
Ah!
Hi,
Yeah.
Gerald. Where have you been?
Hi. I get it.
You did a lot of work tonight, switching those cards around and flipping those hole punches. That was pretty cool.
So people have asked about this. These are 2-inch circles.
Mm.
I used a punch to where you can actually. It was important that I had the ability to be able to move it wherever I wanted to. So part of the interesting challenge is I'm supposed to be getting some more decks, and I want to circle punch them again. So, but I also have another way that I want to manipulate them. One of the other things to consider is when you're doing this, where do you punch so that you don't lose the meaning of this card, but you capture the meaning in that card in the circle?
I bet you that took more time to decide than actually punching them.
Actually, it didn't. I just went with my intuition, and I'm like, okay. But the other thing that I did is I wrote on them, because sometimes if I didn't know that deck,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wouldn't know that that's the Six of Cups.
Yeah.
So Gerald, did you use one deck to punch the hole for the base, and did you just use those holes that you created as
Yeah.
in your pouch, or did you take another deck and punch specific holes?
I'm not sure I understand. I have circle punched the light seers.
No. So did you use just that one light seers, and you're just using whatever holes came from that? You didn't punch other ones.
No.
From another light seers deck. Okay.
Correct. Yeah. So I could make a complete deck out of this if I wanted to.
Yeah.
I did not. I wasn't going to manipulate it by stacking three sun cards in it or anything like that. So,
Oh, okay. Okay.
So, and
Do that.
so yeah, and it's
that's so sweet.
oh, the whole day has been fantastic. It has been fun. Let me put that up
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
So, it has been good. And Rossi said Bob Marley's Three Little Birds came to my mind.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I'm so glad. I'm so glad that it was good.
Yeah.
And glad you caught this. And you're welcome, Bobby. So this is one of those things that I could have. Well, I'm not going to overthink it. I love doing this sort of thing. I will tell the two of you backstage what the other idea I have is for these, or for what I can do to cards. Listen to me, what I can do to cards. So
I've seen the shows where you beat the crap out of that poor Matryoshka doll nesting tarot. I've seen what you did to it with the sandpaper. Yeah.
yes. Well, and I actually want to do that. I want to do this with the nested tarot because if you look at it, I could actually do a punch of just the head, a 1.5 inch, so that the head changes and so that the dolls' faces would be different. So, but that's for another time.
Okay.
So, but stay tuned. Oh, yeah, like and subscribe. Whatever.
Yes, please like and subscribe. And I have a membership. Those of you who are interested, please join my membership. You get lots of interesting perks. We're having our first members live on the 27th.
Very nice.
Nice.
Very nice. Tom, what do you got coming up?
Nothing planned at the moment. Just kind of, I've been super busy lately, so I've really the YouTube has kind of taken a little bit of a vacation for me, and I've slowly been coming back in. So hopefully I'll get some videos up soon. I have some ideas on some things that I'll flesh out at another point, but hopefully. So subscribe, see what happens. Right now it's been a little bit quiet, even though I've
well, it hasn't been that long since you've posted a video. You did it like a month and a half or 2 months ago.
Oh no, it's been like 5 months.
No.
I mean, it's been.
Yeah, it's only been like a month and a half. So.
Yeah, sure. So we'll go with that.
Here you go.
Yes.
Follows Dead Fred's Drop Dead Fred's advice. If something doesn't work, tear it apart to make it better.
There you go.
Or even if something does work, tear it apart and see if you can make it work.
Better.
Yeah. And thank you all. You're welcome. And this is I personally find the tarot is a really empowering tool if you are willing to let it be. And I'm glad you joined us, J Cat Lady.
Yeah.
So.
Oh yeah.
I like your top, Linda.
Oh well, there's more. You want to see the whole thing?
Wait a minute. Here, let me put you.
You're going to be digging me, aren't you?
Yep.
I wear this shirt periodically, but only when I'm in my element. Yes, it is very nerdy. I love it. People look at me weirdly when I wear it. So.
When do they not look at you weirdly?
When I have a coat on and a little scarf, and they look at me and go, "Oh, nice little old lady."
So that's Linda Day Gonzalez.
Hi.
Tom, Early Ritual. Go over and subscribe. I'm Tarot Stash. Thanks everybody for being here. And you two stick around and I'll tell you what the other plan that I have.
Can't wait.
For doing something to decks, and maybe I'll do it live because sometimes people need to see, one of them is going to be the the Crow Tarot, right? Is that the one you want that I have, Tom? I'm gonna manipulate that one.
Don't do that to that.
No, I wouldn't.
Murder of Crows.
Murder of Crows. Sorry.
Yeah, you have the limited version of it, and no, do not do anything to that deck.
And by the way, I think Lexi left, because she was very quiet. So
she must have.
That's okay. All right. Thanks, everybody. Take care. Bye.
Love you all. Good night.
Bye all.